Hey Stefan, hey dude, it's Lee McCormack. How are you? Thought I'd try video back to you. Thanks for sending the video. It's good to see you, man. You look good. Um, yeah, I mean, to give a real answer, I would love to see that jump. There's so many freaking variables, man. I'd love to see how you're doing it. Like on video, Zoom's ideal because we can go back and forth. But here are some thoughts, okay? Um, First of all, you're asking about compressing into the landing. So, if the transition from the landing to the takeoff is consistent, if it has radius and it's not super long, then from the landing through the takeoff is one row. One row. As you know, that's a combination of pushing feet, pulling hands. Um, it's a lot like the feeling of pumping a swing set when you're a little kid. It's a lot like that. It's the same, right? And so you want to do that, and you want to do it powerfully. And that row through the landing transition right here, remember, like you're giving down force with your legs, but almost more importantly, you're pulling the bar back and you're levering the rear wheel down. So that a lot of propulsion comes from that. So like I said, if it's a consistent radius and it's not that long, most of the time this is one row. Okay. Now, you only have so much range of motion. So if you express all of that here, there's nothing left there. So again, if it's little, you just meter that out long. If you need extra pop and or the distance between the two jumps is long, and especially if there's a dead space between them, flat, then you do it twice. And you see pros do this all the time. So when you land, you'll land from, let's say, negative 40 degrees, and you'll row to level, and then you'll unload. Like you'll create like a virtual roller between the jumps, and then you're gonna get into a low hinge and row again. So that's a way you can generate more rowing power on the second, is to do a second cycle. That's a thing. Okay, that's one thing. When I say row, again, right, it's a combination of pushing feet down from the hip, not the quad. We know this, you're good at it, and that retraction of the hands. Okay, that's a row. You talk about the sensation of kind of like using your momentum and letting your body carry through the lip. That's a good feeling. Like when I watch the most recent videos you sent, you're looking good, but like it's not perfect. And I feel like there's this very slight, it's subconscious, dude. You're smart. It's subconscious hesitance. And so you are doing the things, but you're not actively projecting forward. So it's like mechanically you're going forward and you're pulling the bars towards you, so you feel like you're forward on the bike. But mentally and energetically, I love the idea of you just saying, look, I'm going over there. And projecting. That's good for your intention. It's going to open up more power in your body, because remember, the second you go even a tiny bit defensive, subconsciously, you're not going to have access to the same motor units, the same power in your body. So project through. Also, too, you tend to be just a hair too far back on the most recent jumps I saw, just a hair. And I can see you getting pushed forward. So that's very dangerous. And also, it's eating up energy. So yeah, forward. And a lot of times when I'm coaching people, I'll just tell them, look, get from here to there, way over there, and I'll stand over there, and I'll be like waving my arms. Look at me, dude, and get here as fast as you can. If you do the row, the jump happens. So, okay, that's good. I hope that's helpful. Another thing, and you talk about not being able to row all the way through the lip. Now, I'd love to see the jump. Thoughts. One might be, it's just, let's say it's a perfectly built steep lip, like 60 degrees or so. It might be a confidence thing. Your system might not be ready for it. And your system might be going, hell no, I don't need that much air. And there's not much you can do about it, really. It's subconscious. And so you just have to like very, very gradually work through. There's that. There's also the possibility that the jump isn't built right, that it has a change of radius. And very commonly, people will add dirt to the top of a lip to add pop, and they're not doing math. So like the bottom of the jump will have one radius, and then the radius will tighten toward the top. this kink right here is a danger point because it'll tend to make the bike hang up. And you can do it, but you have to row extra aggressively in that moment to reconcile that angle change. It's possible that you're noticing that, again, it's subconscious and your body is basically saying, pardon my French here, fuck you, Stefan, like that's not cool, and it won't do it. The third possibility, and this happens, this is me, okay? Like my body wants to go from A to B, generally as efficiently as possible. And so very often what you'll do is like given your speed and the jump, but by the way, check it out too, like let's say the jump's just built wrong. Like you said, the guy said it's too long. It might be too long for the trajectory. So let's say you have a 45-degree lip with a 10-foot top. Okay, if we steepen that lip to 60 degrees, the trajectory is more like this. So you'd have to go very fast to do all of this stuff, plus have a lot of power and pop. So what I would do, and I do this all the time on a jump like that, is I'll come through, and what I'll do, it's a version of pushing through. It's all on the website, where you row hard at the bottom, and as soon as the front tire peaks over the top, you anti-row. And that gives you a flatter trajectory. And it's very, very, very possible, given the amount of jumping you've done and how smart you are as a guy, that you're doing the math on your own. Very common. And so those are the thoughts I have. Hope that's helpful.